I wouldn't change not one bit about it, bro.
Hello my darlings and welcome to a new reading vlog where I mood read books, and I normally start by picking one book with a prompt. I use tarot cards to pick the prompt, so I'm just going to see which one today. Today's pick is The Hermit, and for The Hermit it is Reddit picks what book I'm going to read. Okay, so how this works is I go onto the subreddit books that feel like this. I'm just going to go on Reddit via the internet so I don't sign into my personal account. And I pick someone's post that I think, yeah, I'm in the mood for books like that. And then I pick a book on there that I have not read. So up first we have Cosmic Horror. Okay, do I feel like a sci-fi? Cosmic horror sci-fi? Horror thriller about secret branch of government. Definitely not interested in that at the moment. Small life in a big chaotic place. No. Books that feel like custard cream cookies. But the bug is this. Wait, hold on. It says gothic, but let me have a look at what the images are. You know what, fuck it, let's choose one from here. Let's choose one from this one, and there's a lot of comments, so there's going to be a lot of options. This is so bizarre. Okay. I'm also interested in Devil Toot books. Okay. All right. Let's lock in. Okay, so I gave you eyes and you look towards darkness. I have read that. I DNF'd it. That was not for me. That was like giving me a headache reading that book. Clive Barker's Mr. Be Gone. Okay. This is definitely an option as long as my library has it. I love some of Clive Barker's books, and the other ones I've DNF'd, so could go either way. Dante's Inferno. I love Dante's Inferno. I have read it. Master and Margarita. I have read half of. I ended up DNFing it. It could be one that I might revisit. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. Not sure. Chuck Palahniuk. I don't tend to love his books, so I'm going to skip that one. It's about a 13-year-old girl in hell. Look, that sounds cool, but is it going to get male gazy? That's the issue. Is it going to be creepy and gross? The Bible? No. The Golden Ass by Apuleius. No idea what that is. The Gormenghast trilogy is a trilogy that I was obsessed with as a teenager. So obsessed with that I then also watched the movies and then became obsessed with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Lapvona, DNF that one. Between Two Fires, I do like that one. Till by Daniel Coleman. I have not read. Milton's Paradise Lost. I could. There's a lot of books here. Slewfoot, that's great. Starving Saints. Oh, had such a cool premise. Wasn't great. Bartimaeus Sequence. There's so many. I think Library at Mount Char, so fucked up, but really good. Heavy though, heavy. John dies at the end. Did I start that and DNF it? Oh, I'm not quite sure. Push Posh said Hieronymus Bosch. It's a picture book. No. Witchstone, Henry Neff. I actually really love that, and I was kind of hoping there was going to be a sequel to that book, but I don't know if we're going to be getting a sequel. I will go through all of these comments because there's so many, as you can see, and I will tell you what I've ended up going with, but there are a lot of options, and I'm low-key intrigued and excited what I end up picking up. This was a really cool prompt and an abundance of recommendations, but that was very fun. I have already read one book for this vlog, and that is We Hex the Moon by Mollyhall. Seeley. So this one is about 4 friends who hex the moon and accidentally yank it out of the sky just before they're about to head off for college. Things get even stranger and weirder when the moon appears in their room as an extremely sarcastic, powerful young woman who is demanding that they do what she says before the world ends. So it had a really fun, interesting, magical surrealism kind of premise. I loved that the moon was personified. That was very fun. The book is mostly, though, about friendship and growing apart. So these girls have been ride or die throughout their whole childhoods, and It explores how sometimes friendships can change because of major life transitions that are approaching. So they're all about to go off and do different things. It's giving very much end of summer nostalgia and the uncertainty of leaving childhood behind for adulthood. There's also some navigating of queer desire. So two of the girls are in a sexual relationship with each other, and I understand that they're 18, but for me, it's still teenage girl in my head, so I get a bit yucked out. Not yucked out, but I feel uncomfy reading about teenage girls having sex with each other and the desire and the yearning and the lust, just because they're a bit too young for me. I'd rather they be 20 years old. I know it's just stupid, it's arbitrary, but 18, and because they very much feel like teenage girls still. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. It's giving that. So for me, I just get a bit uncomfortable reading it. I feel like a bit of a perv. But I have to say that this book absolutely nailed girlhood. Oh my God, it is just spot on. There was some religious scripture in this because one of the girls that's in the sapphic relationship comes from a conservatively religious household. I hate reading religious scripture quoted, but she's got that sort of war going on between who she is and who she's expected to be, and whether or not she is strong enough to withstand the potential backlash and abandonment of her family and everything she's known by simply coming out and being true to herself. All of the girls are going through different things. One of them is going through a lot of grief over the loss of her twin brother. I thought that was done fantastically. I love this book, but I'm only giving it 4.5 stars. It's losing a whole half a star because there are no fucking quotation marks. All of the dialogue was embedded within the text. So it really ruined the reading experience of this for me. I constantly had to stop, go back once I realized, oh, someone was talking. That wasn't an internal thought. They were saying this out loud, and I'd have to read it again. And yeah, it ruined the reading experience. It gave me a headache. It made it a lot more difficult for me to enjoy the story. And why? Why? For the artistic choice of not using quotation marks, this would have been a 5-star read. I have no doubt that this would have been a 5-star read had it had dialogue, punctuation. So please, for the love of God, please stop this burgeoning trend of not using quotation marks for dialogue, or at least indent it. Indent it? Do you know what I mean? Space it out so it's separated from the rest of the text. Don't do this thing where you just enmesh it in the entire page and you just have to use such a Herculean amount of mental effort to realize. And it's always after the fact. You've realized after the fact, oh, that they were speaking. Look, I'm trying to be chill about it, but it did enrage me. But I love this book. The characters, they're all got their quirks, they've all got their strengths and their weaknesses. Jen's supposed to be going to Yale, guys. Yale. But I was endeared to all of them. I just thought it was just quirky, but it had depth. It had substance. There were some great lines in it, and the way it unfolded was not predictable for me. That moon was an absolute wild card bitch. Let me just tell you. Let me tell you. She was stirring shit up. Wow. The things she asked of the girls, holy moly. But then the love that they have for each other. And it was that whole, what's the word? Hypothetical situation of the tram tracks, and there's one person you love tied to the tracks, and on the other track there's like 10 people you don't know. Who do you let the tram kill? That was brought into play in this story. But yeah, this would have been a 5-star if it just had quotation marks. But 4.5 stars nonetheless. But because of that too, this is not a book I will ever reread. I don't want to go through that experience again of trying to understand what's dialogue and what's not, and who's talking and what's an internal thought, because it was just headache inducing. But that is one book I have already read. I'm just going to check to see what I'm reading. Oh, I've just done a library haul. Let me show you what I've gotten from the library. Okay, so we have Born to Flourish by Richard J. Davidson and Cortland Dahl. How Science and Ancient Wisdom Reveal a Simple Path to Living. I'm someone that I follow like a holistic way of living. I love science, and medical breakthroughs and advancement, but I also love natural methods of healing. So things that women of yore would have done with herbs and practices like Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. So I like to combine the best of the old and the new in terms of health and wellness. So I'm interested to see how they do that in that book. We've got New Skin by Sarah Wang. At 26, Linley Feng is still trying to escape her mother Fanny's orbit. But after 3 years of estrangement, just when Linley has been accepted into a prestigious graduate program, she's dragged back by Fanny's latest medical catastrophe. For decades, Fanny's been addicted to plastic surgery, getting bargain procedures in the basements of LA's bootleg beauty industry. And now her disfigured face is in dangerous revolt. But as Linley wades through the wreck of family finances and juggles her mother's care, she has a secret. She's won a spot on America's Beauty Extreme, a reality TV show in which botched surgery addicts compete for reconstructive surgery. So interesting. I have A Mood, A Thought, A Feeling, Interiors by Young Hugh, forward by Zoe Deschanel. Interesting. I love colour in interior design now. In my older age, I've gotten really into colour, so I'm looking at interior design that features colour. We have Death Do Us by Ruthie Mason. To love and to perish. Everyone says how lucky she is, and for a while she believes it. Bea has just got engaged. It should be the most exciting time of her life, but she can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Her engagement ring doesn't fit. Her finger is swollen and painful. And as she starts to look at dresses, she notices her skin is flaking. It sounds like she's got some anxiety about this. Nor can she shake the memories of a previous proposal from her ex-boyfriend a decade earlier. Girly, wow. Back then, she was resistant to commitment, young, confident, her whole life ahead of her. And if she were to marry, she'd imagine breaking with tradition, an elopement. But as plans for the big day solidify, she sees the appeal of a white dress, a reception, and a life with just one man. And yet something is crawling under her skin. Something is watching them from the shadows. It says it's a skin-crawling feminist horror story that explores what marriage means for women today. Then we've got The Encore by Juliette Izon. A captivating journey of love, sacrifice, and destiny set in the world of music. Yeah, look, I thought, are they guitar picks? They are guitar picks. I don't tend to love books that feature musicians. So it's set in Boston, and a chance encounter sparks a friendship between a pianist and a singer as they strive towards careers as professional musicians. And then 20 years later, 16-year-old virtuoso Lottie is grappling. Oh, I don't know, guys. I think I might just return that. I don't even know if I'm going to try that one. Divine Ruin, Margot Dowie. It's a steamy, restless end of the school year in New Orleans. Sister Holiday is finishing her music classes and preparing for her permanent vow ceremony, a pivotal moment in her journey of faith. But when one of her students is found dead of a fentanyl overdose, Sister Holiday and her partner in PI, Magnolia Reveau, are determined to track down the drug dealers. As students continue to fall prey to this sinister drug, Sister Holiday becomes more desperate to stop the epidemic, facing her own past with addiction. Oh, I think this is a thriller. I thought this was going to be like a horror. Oh, and it's a mystery. I don't think this is for me either. Look, I just grabbed it because I saw the cover. And I don't know why, but as soon as they said there's a drugs going around, they got to stop it, I just thought of Jump Street. My dad's calling, but he's going to have to wait a sec. We've got No Matter What by Cara Bastone. Sometimes love sends you back to the drawing board. It's been a year since Roz and Vin survived a traumatic car accident, and their marriage hasn't been the same. Can they fix things? Grief works for me a lot of the time. We've got The Library After Dark by Andy Pliego. A bookseller must escape the infamously haunted library that holds her darkest secrets. But with a murderer in her tour group, escaping alive is not as simple as it seems in this twisty locked room thriller. Maybe. I don't tend to love mysteries and thrillers, but maybe. Dark Fae. Why did I grab this? Carolyn Peckham, Susan Valenti. This didn't have a cover when I reserved it at the library. Sometimes when books come into the catalogue, they'll say the title, but they won't have a cover. So I think I would have gone, yeah, let's just give it a go. What do a heartless dragon shifter, a cold-blooded basilisk, an arrogant lion shifter, and a brooding harpy have in common? Me. Elise Callisto, vampire, angel of vengeance, and a girl on a mission to destroy one of them for murdering my brother. I just don't know which one did it yet. The fact that she's talking in the blurb in her point of view doesn't bode well. I don't think that one will be for me. But those are some new books that I have picked up. I'm heading into the city today. I'm going into the library in the city too, so I'll grab a book from there. and I'll catch you guys later. Some gluten-free desserts. Oh, my little friend has come. Hi, honey. Hi. There you go. Hello, darlings. Hello, lovelies. I just filmed the Booker Prize vlog and I've just wiped that heavy makeup off my face. My God, that was so heavy. That was so heavy. I'm here with a library and book haul for you. So I did just receive Good Girl by Holly Coleman, and I've already started reading this. So I'll give you my review probably tomorrow. And then from the library, I picked up Restarting by Phil Got Books. This is a fellow booktuber, and when I saw his book at the library, I thought, all right, let's give it a go. I don't know if it's going to be for me. It says, on a random ass Tuesday night, Joe Schmo's average life is flipped on its head when he's told he has 1 week to overcome his life's obstacle. That'd be easy enough, except for 2 problems. 1, he has no clue what his life's obstacle is. 2, if he doesn't overcome it, he'll be killed. To help him on his quest, Joe's been magically gifted 5 restarts that grant him the ability to rewind the current day. As he redoes moments throughout the week, he discovers each restart affects more than just himself. Armed with humour, a baseball bat, and a plethora of random sports references, Joe and an unlikely companion set off on their mission to save his life. I think it's a pug, because there's a pug on the back. I don't know what this big giant bread man is. Maybe he's just got to get that bread. Don't know, but I'll give it a go. Then, excited for Wife-Shaped Bodies by Laura Cranehill. So, forbidden from leaving her house from girlhood until marriage, Nicole has only her mother's lessons and what she can see from her bedroom to draw on forming her view of the world and herself. Taught that the mushrooms covering the women's bodies in her village are repulsive and dangerous, she conforms to a rigid set of rules to protect herself and those around her, and when her wedding day arrives, Nicole moves from one prison to another. I'm guessing this ends up being queer and fungal. And I do love Sporer as a sub-genre of horror. We then also have Feast by Catherine Kurtz. This cover absolutely reminds me of We May Feed the King, the book from the Booker Prize. Okay, in the alleys of 19th century London, Minha is born with a gift, an overwhelming, all-consuming sense of taste. Desperate to escape a life of poverty, she crosses the sea to France, chasing a better future. Ooh, Minna's talent is discovered when she detects poison in a dish. Interesting. She ends up becoming the personal poison taster. This could end up being Perfume-esque. He had an obsession with scent. Maybe her obsession with food will be similar. A castle alive with secrets, a woman who can taste the truth. Love, love, love the cover. So, and then I've got the last one I picked up was Astronaut by Oana Aristide. Communist Romania, 1989. A grey place of mysterious cues, ubiquitous informers, and daily news flashes about a man-eating bear that is terrorising the country. Amidst the daily drudge of work, rationing, and careful conversation with neighbours, 2 lives unexpectedly collide. Idealistic police detective, Constantine, is tasked with solving a string of grisly murders, and a rebellious schoolchild, Leah, is unwittingly drawn into her elderly neighbour's seditious plot. I like the cover of this one as well. So those are some extra books that I will be adding to my TBR. Hopefully I get to them in time. 3 weeks is not a lot of time to read a book. And then we've got Autoimmunity in the Good Girls, How Permission to Put Ourselves First Has a Power to Keep Us Well by Sarah Hirsch Bordeaux. So I have decided that I'm going to be, I like the coloured pages on the inside. Oh, this is so... That's a good paper scent, guys, but it is so soft and luxurious. Oh, I love this paper. Yes. I've decided to go on to this one Fuck, I hate this fringe. Every time I see my face and this fringe, I cringe, man. I cringe at this fringe. Lord, help me find a hairdresser that knows how to cut a fringe. My God. I'm just having a quick look to see, am I listening to anything or do I have anything on ebook at the moment? Oh, yeah. So I did pick Lent by Joe Walton for the Devil Toot image prompt for the book. My God, some of those books, dude, in one of them, there was like a 12-year-old girl who I believe wanks off Godzilla. Thanks, Chuck. I was like, hard pass. And then there was another one where a dude was turned into a donkey and then forced to participate in certain shows that feature donkeys performing acts, if you catch my drift. And I'm like, oh my God, of course these books are going to be weird. There was one too about a, what was it called? I don't know. I don't think it was Vagina. It was definitely a Colton Mellick, the third book, Satan's Asperger's or something like that. And I read the synopsis for that and I'm like, holy shit, bro. So I chose one of the less full-on books, but one that I still felt was channeling the vibe of the pictures. So that was Lent by Joe Walton. And he's supposedly won, is it a he? I actually don't know, Hugo, Nebula, and World Fantasy Awards. So this is a magical reimagining of the man who remade 15th century Florence with all its astonishing strangers. So we've got young Girolamo, and Girolamo's life is a series of miracles. It's a miracle that he can see demons, plain as day, and that he can cast them out with the force of his will. It's a miracle that he's friends with Pico della Mirandola, the Count of Concordia. It's a miracle that when Girolamo visits the deathbed of Lorenzo the Magnificent, the dying Medici is wreathed in celestial light, a surprise to everyone, Lorenzo included. It's a miracle that when Charles VIII of France invades northern Italy, Girolamo meets him in the field and convinces him not only to spare Florence, but also to protect it. It's a miracle then, whenever Girolamo preaches, crowds swoon. It's a miracle that despite the Pope's determination to bring young Girolamo to heel, he's still on the loose. And now, running Florence in all but name. That's only the beginning. Because Girolamo Savonarola is not who or what he thinks he is. He will discover the truth about himself at the most startling possible time. And this will be only the beginning of his many lives. Does that not sound intriguing? I am actually excited to pick this up. So thank you, Reddit, for bringing a lot of books to my attention, but this one especially. So yes, I'll be reading that. I'll be picking this up and then just whatever else tickles my fancy. I'm going to be DNFing like a fucking fiend though, because after pushing myself to read 4 of the Booker Prize books to completion when I was severely disliking them the entire time, it felt like pulling teeth. I can't. I have no tolerance now for mediocre books. Everything must feel like a 4-star or higher within the first 50 pages, or it's going on the cutting block, the chopping block. So sorry, these books, you're not getting the fairest of chances, but yeah, I can't. I am going into slump territory and I must not. Reading for me is meant to be fun. It is my hobby. It's my escapism. It's my coping mechanism. It's what brings me light and joy and a will to live. So I'm not forcing my way through books that I am severely disliking.
Because of how hot she is, oh my god.
Sylvie, you're too hot. You're overbaked.
She's cooking. She's getting deep fried right now.
She loves that.
Cats love sun baking, Mama.
I know, so do I.
No, I only like it. I like it air baking.
What is that?
Like lying on the ground here while the aircon just
The aircon.
Oh, the aircon's so nice. Like it's just like going over these like cold layer. It's so nice.
They still come. They try to steal some of the seeds from the magpies.
I love these are my favorite.
Yes, they're cute, but they're bullies. They bully all the other birds, and too many of them come sometimes.
Hello. So I did finish reading Good Girl by Holly Coleman. So this is a hybrid of poetry and essays and fragments that explores the intimacy between language and desire. It's linguistic cunnilingus. It is grammar erotica. It also examines what it means to be a good girl, obedient, polished, pleasant, before unraveling those expectations and finding freedom and sensuality and messiness in girlhood. One of the main essays, the longest essay in this, was about language as desire. So it was grammar and punctuation and sentence structure that was used as a metaphor for attraction and intimacy and power and vulnerability. Writing itself becomes sensual. It's about choosing words and lingering in commas and unfinished sentences and fragmented thoughts, all carrying this emotional and erotic charge. It was also a bit of a love letter to Keats, but overall, the book was also about power and submission and beauty and imperfection. It was giving horny academia core and sexy subtext. So I had a really fun time. 4.5 stars for me. I'll just read you one of the poems. I'll read a short one, so I'm not taking up too much of your time. So we've got A Study in Submission. Your hand on the back of my neck, and everything I know about grammar turns into breathing. Rules dissolve into pulse. Syntax rearranges itself by contact. The body learns language in reverse. First ache, then verb, then silence. You tell me to speak and I think you mean confess. I say something small, vowel-shaped, obedient. A word that barely survives its own saying. You nod and the meaning goes. I keep the words under my tongue and let them dissolve one by one. Please. Again. More. Surrender tastes like artificial cherry. The room goes quiet as every sentence ends beneath your palm. When you finish, I try to say thank you, but what comes out is, I'm learning to make love as a fragment. You can finish this however you want. 4 out of 5 stars, would recommend, fun time. I haven't actually started reading anything else. I've been not going for gold, my new themed video that I'll be doing. I think my babies might be at the door. Hello, my baby. Hi. Hi, honey. Oh, it's my little baby. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm here. I'm here. Hi, honey. Here, you want your seeds? Come on, sweetie. There's another one there. Come on. He's not as friendly, but oh my God, my little babies. I love you so much. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. She can't fully stretch out. Yeah, I know you were hanging off. Yes. Oh, no. My curtains have been destroyed. Just coming on here quickly because T and I are going to our sexy book club this evening. I'm having some issues with my tights, so I got tights. They're stay-ups. So my garter belts are not hooking onto them. So I've got to figure it out. But yeah, we're going to Sexy Book Club and we'll take you along with us this evening.
I can't do it. How do you do it?
It's just a little...
Well, yeah, nah. I go this way.
This one?
Yeah,
That's cute.
that's way.
I'm just focusing on this about
I want her to like sit at a.
You like some?
What is it? Is it alcoholic?
Yeah. I'll get you.
Need something.
Maybe you can give it to someone.
Well, I'm a wine drinking fast, thinking I can count. Just looking for.
sweetie.
She does a little bit, but she's not like that. Maybe if we got a rug like this, she would, but I doubt it.
Fairy rug.
I think she needs a friend.
Oh.
And we are going to get her a friend once we're all moved in and settled.
Would you get a kitten or an older cat?
I'm going to get a kitten.
Has she had any contact with other cats?
Mm-mm. No.
You're just trying
So
to
we'll
be...
introduce slowly.
How old is Maisie now?
4.
Oh. Why does she seem older than that?
Because she's the first cat of mine to survive 4 years for a long time.
Holy shit.
Since
dude.
Biscuit.
What? Is it because they were just outside cats?
No. I'm calling it the cat curse.
It's like I'm not even hungover, but I'm having a hungover breakfast. Hello, my lovelies. Yes, it's been 2 days since the event. There was no way that I could get on camera yesterday. My voice was completely shot. T and I ended up just chatting until 1 a.m. So it's the first sleepover with friends I've had since I was in my 20s. It was lovely, but I'm not a spring chicken anymore and I did not bounce back. The event was fantastic. It was fucking phenomenal. The space was gorgeous. The venue was gorgeous. The food was delicious. I don't drink alcohol, so I didn't have the free cocktails and champagne, but I'm sure everybody loved those. The women were fucking baddies. Bro, I have never been in a room of such fine bitches. I swear, and I'm saying that in a very loving, complimentary manner. They were bad bitches and so fucking hot and sexy and powerful, and it was an amazing energy and vibe. So the Sexy Book Club isn't just like, oh, we're reading books that feature sexy or powerful or angry women. It was also about dressing up, but also it was quite sex focused. So we got some goodie bags. As you saw, I got a vibrator that you're supposed to be able to use hands-free while you're reading. So I have not tried it out yet. We also got that cute little pussycat sticker, which I love. And we got that pouch with a discount code to that company. I think it might be also a pleasure company. But we also ended up writing sex confessions on pieces of paper, maybe things that we probably wouldn't do again or we would not want other people to know we did. And we put them in the jar and they were read out. And the host, Laura, voted for her favorite 3 and they got to take home some more sex toys. So yeah, it was a very raunchy, but very safe space, wonderful event. I talked to so many people and that's a lot. It's hard for me to do. I am very introverted and neurodivergent, and I did pretty good. There were times when I had to just withdraw a little bit when I was feeling overwhelmed, but I also had my support person T there, so that helped. But I did get to know some people. There might have been some women that I might have gotten a bit of a crush on as well. They were very queer friendly, so I met a lot of other bi babes too, which was wonderful. And yeah, I will be going back. So there were professional photos taken. I'm not sure when they're going to be available. I probably was putting them on the screen, flashing them up whilst speaking. I think that's what I'll do. So yeah, we got some professional photos taken. We'll see how I go. I'm not good at posing for photographs. I never know how to do a natural look with my face. I just find it very awkward. I'm more of a take a video of me person than let's take a photo. So I'm like, you know, it doesn't become like I feel like an alien in an oversized skin suit. I feel like the guy, can I have some sugar from Men in Black? That's what I feel like when someone asks to take a photo. So yeah, we'll definitely go again, 100%. Let's just finish this vlog off though. So I know I was meant to be reading Lent by Jo Walton. I just did not get around to it. I have not had much reading time this week. I am going to take that over to my next vlog. Don't worry. I am going to try that and read it. I did pick up a little mini book from reactormag.com or Tor. This is Two's Company by Joe Abercrombie. So this is about two legendary warriors who on a walk there. They seem to be fleeing people who are pursuing them, and then they end up on a bridge and there's a man that approaches them. So there's this sort of stalemate on this bridge. It's only wide enough for one to pass, and neither of the two characters, one of the man and one of the women, are willing to back down. It's a clash of the egos, and they decide there's only one way to solve this, naturally, with our fists. So they start fighting, but it turns out he is also being pursued by enemies, and their enemies then converge upon them. So they have to then work together to fight off their enemies before they can solve their own little personal conflict. So whilst the man and the woman are going at it, the other woman that was on the quest, Shevadiah, is there to try and like broker peace with this argument that is fueled entirely by pride. It was a lot of crass humor. So it's got Joe Abercrombie style of humor, lots of talk about balls and titties. It was very action comedy feeling, heavy on the banter, but the women characters were strong, appreciated that. Stubbornness fucking overload though with the two characters. It was very fast paced. Their heroic egos do make for hilarious problems that are very simple problems that are way overcomplicated and just ridiculous. There was a ridiculousness to it, but I did enjoy it. I gave it a 3.5 stars. And then I picked up the audiobook for The Suffering by David Sodergren. It was narrated by Hannah Curtis, whom I think did a fantastic job. I probably wouldn't recommend listening to this though, because of the nature of the book, but I'll get to that in a second. So this is about a doctor who gets trapped at this remote mountain convent after they rescue this injured girl that has staggered out from the woods. And as this very brutal snowstorm seals them in, this evil force invades the convent and is turning this former sanctuary into this nightmare of pussy, randy nuns. Very much survival horror. There are only a few who have not been infected, and they have to try to survive the onslaught. It is very bloody. It has the claustrophobic feeling because they are isolated. They are trapped on this mountain because of that storm that is raging around them. So they have to face the horror. They have to fight to survive. Because nuns are involved, there is this faith versus evil aspect, religion and sacrilegion. This sacred space is now this absolute battleground for this vile, sinister element. Because of the contagion nature of the sickness, there's madness. It involves everyone. Should I tell you what the infection is? I won't. There's an infection and it's causing everybody to go mad, and it's making everybody question reality, but also their faith, their former close bonds. You just got to survive at the end of the day, and your instinct hopefully will take over and you'll do what's necessary to make it through. But yeah, it's everything's just heavily corrupted. Corruption is the name of the game. So I can see that it was trying to channel some of the 7 deadly sins. So you got a lot of lust and gluttony and pestilence. There was wrath and pride there as well. Wait, is pestilence a sin or a... Anyway, there were some of those, religious archetypal emotions and qualities. This sickness turns these nuns incredibly horny. They all just want to bang in this very grotesque way. Okay, this was full on disgusting. It was gross. It was, oh my God, the body horror is fucking foul in this. So for me personally, I don't like gore and sexual assault, sexual violence in horror. That's not my thing. And this is what that book has, because these women do sexually assault the other women in really fucked up ways. I can't stress that enough. This is full on. it was vomit inducing. And I could probably deal with the body horror aspect, but like the sexual assault stuff, especially when the book is written by a man and he's writing about these women in this hypersexual, violent way, I just get the ick. Okay, I get the ick with that and I don't like it. So that did tank my rating. I've given this a 3, but these are just my personal things that I just don't tolerate very well. However, if you're fine with sexual violence, if you're fine with severe, disgusting body horror, this is right up your fucking alley, my guys, because yeah, it is crazy. Like, who wants a scoop of booby soup? I'm not going to explain that. The one male character in this, well, there's some other male characters that are outside, but while the one male that is trapped on this mountaintop with the women, his name is Henrik, and he's the biggest fucking most massive fucking idiot, fucking nitwit. I was raging. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't care if you're curious and you like to learn. Fucking use your brain. You're a doctor. Surely you have some logic in there. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Do you have no survival instinct whatsoever? He just kept making fool's error after fool's error, and it was painful to read about. It was so painful to read about because it just didn't affect him. It affected the other people that were also trying to survive. But this is a bleak book. This is so bleak. If you're, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it's rough, bro. You do want the 4 to survive. I will say that. It does make you root for these uninfected people, and you're really, really hoping that they make it out. You're like, fuck, I hope they make it out. So 3 stars, but I think, once again, if you're fine with severe body gore and also SA sexual violence, then it might be your thing. But my God, and that's when I'm saying I didn't want to hear it. Like, it's rough to listen to. It's rough to listen to. So I would have preferred to read it. I think it made it more offensive to me, having to listen to it. But let me sum up what I read in this vlog. So I read We Hexed the Moon by Mollyhall Seeley, which I gave 4.5 stars. Turns out the moon is a bit of a cunt. Good Girl by Holly Coleman, which I gave 4.5 stars. Be a good girl and go get wet for grammar. Then we had Two's Company by Joe Abercrombie, which I gave 3.5 stars. Move, bitch, get out the way. And the final book I read was The Suffering by David Sodergren, which I gave 3 stars. The weather forecast. Heavy snow with a 100% chance of oozy, horny nuns. And that's everything for this reading vlog. I was going to ask for something that's quite saucy, but I don't want people to feel very vulnerable on the internet. So let me find a better question quickly in my head to ask. Because we had the moon as a person here, would you be more of a day man or a night man? And if you don't know what to leave me, if you don't know what to comment, just leave me a moon emoji. And until next time, stay wild, star child.